Hey, I'm really excited that you're interested in learning puppets. And so over the next 5 or 6 weeks, we're gonna kind of step by step kind of show you some important basic skills for being a puppeteer. Now, by the end of this 5 or 6 weeks, you're not going to be an expert, but you're going to have some of the tools you need to practice with and practice a lot to really get good at puppets. So let's get started. Usually a puppeteer will be working with any kind of a puppet, but it's usually covering your hand. And so your hand is really the most important part of puppetry. You've got to learn how to make your hand move so that the puppet looks alive and real. And you notice when I'm already using my hand, there's nothing on it, but it sort of looks like it's real. Something's happening because I'm doing the most important thing is one, keeping it moving, keeping a puppet moving. Put a little bit of life into it. It doesn't have to move a lot. It doesn't have to jump all around and be a crazy thing. And we kind of like to do that, but keeping it still and gently moving it makes it look alive. We also put 4 fingers on the top of the mouth, and then our thumb goes under. So the thumb is the thing that's going to be dropping down and making the mouth move. So get in the habit of that right at the beginning. Learning to move your thumb down while your top hand stands still. Takes a little coordination. So why don't you put up your hand now and put the 4 fingers on top and start trying to just move your thumb up and down. How does that feel? Yeah, there's a tendency to want to do the easy thing, which is move your 4 fingers up. But that makes the puppet look like his head is bouncing all around. So you want to try to do the thumb down. Good. So that's good. So and then just gently moving it around makes it more lifelike. So for us, to help us, we're going to actually get you to add eyes to your puppet. In just a second, we're gonna give you eyes, and these are bendable, so you can bend them to open them up if you need to. You shouldn't have to move it too much because most of your hands are fairly small, so it should fit right away. But you want to open it up, and then take your tallest finger, and you're going to just put it inside like that. So suddenly now your little movements on your your thumb and your hand movements look much more alive because of the eyes. So we're going to have you stop the video here and go ahead and put the eyes on, and then practice moving that thumb up and down. And then in just a moment, come back and we'll practice again. Okay, that was pretty good. Now, here's the trickiest part, is learning to synchronize the mouth of the puppet with the sound of the voice. So what you want to do is be able to open the mouth when the sound comes out so that it looks real. Sometimes we will also try to do the easy thing, and that's to move the fingers and the thumb to match the sound in kind of the opposite way. And that's like almost like keeping time by going, hey, how are you? My name is Fred. You see how that's the opposite of what you want to do. That's kind of closing your mouth when the sound comes out. So here's a good thing to do. Get your hand up, bend your wrist so that you're looking straight out, 4 fingers on top and thumb on the bottom. And let's just try this together. When I make a sound, you open the puppet's mouth like this. Hey, how are you? You see how the puppet is opening opening his mouth when the sound comes out. And then it's closed when there isn't any sound. That's exactly what we do. We open our mouth when the sound comes out. So try that. I want you to just take a moment now and just stop the video. And I want you to turn to your friend and have a little bit of a conversation like, "Hi, my name is Lizard Face. What's yours?" And then let your friend answer back and have a little conversation and see if you can work on lip synchronization and also trying to drop that thumb to make the voices. Go ahead and try that. Okay, that's harder than it looks, isn't it? Yeah. So now the next thing I'm gonna try to work with you on today is just some different voices. When we're doing a voice, and if you use your same voice, then the kids will say, "Hey, I know who that is. That's Bob." So you want to try to change your voice. So we're going to teach you 5 different voices just real quickly here, and I'm going to have you practice them together. But it's really simple, and each voice has a sound. This sound we use a lot when we're learning to speak this, so that it keeps pulling you back into that character voice. Because sometimes if you use a character voice for a while, you start to drift back into your regular voice. So you need a sound that pulls you back into that character. The first one we're going to start with is pretty popular, and you'll notice that he uses this sound a lot to keep him back into character. And if you watched any Bugs Bunny cartoons, you know that he has a sound he uses a lot. And it's for this very nasal voice where a lot of the sound is coming out of your nose. And Bugs Bunny will say, "Nya, nya." Can you try that? "Nya." And it's kind of because the sound is being blocked from coming out your mouth, but it's mostly coming through your nose, that "nya, nya." So when you want to talk, you got to try to do that all the time. And if you start drifting back into your regular voice a little bit, you do "nya," and it gets you right back there. So go ahead and try that now. Practice saying, "Hello, my name is," "What's your name?" and using your "nya" voice. Okay? Okay, good. Now, let's try the second one. The second one is, we're going to just say, is not a very smart character. He's a little bit slow. Sometimes we use this voice for a turtle or someone who's not very bright. And his sound is duh, duh. And this is coming way in the back of your throat. It's duh, duh. So when he's talking, everything comes from the back. Duh, how are you? Duh, why are you walking on your feet? Okay, so try that, duh. And that duh sound will keep bringing you back into that character. So I want you now to turn to your friends, and I want you to use your duh voice, and I want you to say, "Hey, how are you? What are you doing?" and that kind of stuff. But try to talk with your duh voice, okay? Go, do that. Okay, let's try one more. This one is as if you were doing a little kid character. Now I know some of you are already kids, but you can make it even sound a little more like a younger kid by hi. Hi, how are you? So you're trying to get a lot of air coming into your voice, and you use that sound because that's what kids do a lot. They hi, hi. You see how much air is coming out? Try that now. I want you to talk to your friend and using your hi voice. Okay, try that. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Now, the next one is a variation of that. Now it's just using it to make an old person's voice, and now you're going to push a lot more air out through your voice. And, hey, hey. So I try to do the, hey, 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 what are you doing there, little guy? Come over here. Let me talk to you. Come here. Hey. Okay, so try making that sound. Ha, ha, ha. It's pretty tight in your throat and a lot of air. Ha. Okay, now I want you to try that. Say a couple of sentences to each other and talk together with your hey voice. Okay, good. Okay, so the last one is sort of for a bad guy, someone who's just tough. It's a little bit like a pirate voice, and it's kind of a combination of a couple of things because there's a lot of air and there's a lot of growling in your throat. This one is kind of a hard one, but you hear it a lot. So we sometimes use the pirate ah, 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 and that's the sound that kind of gets you back into that character. So want you to try this with me. And see how you can do it using that. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, come over here, boy. Hey, I'm gonna. Okay, so try that with your friend and see how that sounds. Good. Good. So now when you start using your character or your puppet, you kind of figure out what character is he going to be. So you start developing a voice that goes with that character. He might be the bad guy in the story. He might be the slope of what are you doing there? And you can kind of change the voices to match whatever your character is. This has been a good start for you. I hope you enjoy puppets, and we'll talk to you soon.